Now I'm not going to call it as a true length of the object. It is not true length. Okay, it is not a true length. It will be the front view of the object. Okay, front view of the object, and it is the top view of the object. Okay, you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now with this small this one, I'm taking you to the line is inclined to both the planes. A line is inclined to both the planes. For that, I made I prepared the slide also, and in the SolidEdge software also I'm going to show it. This is the line which is inclined to both the planes. This is the line which is inclined to both the planes, and how it can be shown, I will be showing you other way here. You can see that this is the line. You can able to see the highlighted line. One of you say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the line. Now you can see that this line is inclined to the horizontal plane. You can see it is inclined to the horizontal plane, and at the same time this line is inclined to the vertical plane also. It is inclined to the vertical plane also, and because you can see that this end is and this end are not equidistant. You can see the highlighted lines, these are not equal distance from the vertical plane. That means line is not parallel to the vertical plane. Now let me come to this one. It is not parallel to the horizontal plane. You can see that this line and this line are not equidistant. So this case is very different case, and these only will be doing the problem. And now I wanted you to understand more about this. I wanted you to understand more about this. Now let me take one line. Before I solve the problem, let me take one line. Okay, I have taken an object. For example, you say it is the object I have taken. Okay, this is the object. Now the person is here. He is looking from this end. The person is looking from this end. Okay, the person is looking from this end. Arrow mark shades the eyesight. He is looking from this end. Now, whatever the image it is falling here, try to understand what I'm telling. Now I'm going to project this onto this plane. I'm going to look at this and this end is falling here, and other end is also falling at the other end. Now this is what I get. Am I right? This I wanted you to measure it. I wanted you to measure it. Okay, I wanted you to measure definitely. Through your eyesight, it is parallel. Both the ends are parallel. I can able to measure. In the other way also I'll tell. Okay, it is. I can able to measure this length. Correct? No, because it is parallel to your eyes. Now, for example, the line is inclined. The line is inclined at some angle. The line making an angle. Now I imagine that this line is not there. Imagine that this line is not there. Okay, this line is not there. Imagine that. Now how much the line length will be? The line length will be this much. Correct or not? You have to just try to make the imagination and tell me the line length will appears to be this much length. You can agree this point, all of you. The line length appears to be this much length because it is inclined at an angle. It is inclined at an angle. Now, if you want to see the real length of this object, what you have to do is you have to take this object, just turn this object until you reach this, and so that this will be the true length of the object. Correct or not? You can able to understand me? Suppose, for example, any object is given at an angle. I wanted you to measure this length. This length you cannot able to measure because apparently it is looking like this. If the line is kept like this still, the line is kept like this still. Then it appears to point to you, your observation. Now what you have to do to measure this line, to see that how much length it is, what you are going to do, taking this as a point and take this as the radius length, then you draw the arc, and which will be intersecting your eye plane. Eye plane is the plane which is parallel to your eyes, and this particular length after the intersection, this length will be equal to this length. This concept you understood? I hope all of you understood. Now let me come to this discussion. Okay, the line is inclined to both the planes. Now, to understand this concept, you can see that this line, particular line AB, it is inclined to the horizontal plane. It is inclined to the horizontal plane at an angle of theta. Beta is here. I have taken. Why you need not remember theta, beta, alpha, and all. Whatever the symbol you can write that. And it is inclined to the horizontal plane at an angle of alpha, and it is inclined to the vertical plane at an angle of beta. So definitely this particular length and this particular length are not equal, so that it is not parallel to the horizontal plane. Similarly, these two are not equal. It is not parallel to the vertical plane also. And I want you to crucially try to understand these are the important problems. Once you understood this concept, you can able to find out what it is. Now let me come to this one. Let me imagine that I have removed this object. And this particular projection on the front and top view I have taken. Now, previously I told you how the true length of this object can be obtained in the top view, and how the true length of the object can be obtained in the front view. Okay, how it can be obtained. Okay, this is what my question. Then next, and how now this same thing I have projected onto this. How it is a front view, and this will be the top view. The top will be made coinciding with this particular plane of reference, so that the top and front views will be lying on the same plane by dividing of the XY line. And XY line indicate it is the intersection of both vertical and the horizontal plane, and this is a vertical plane. Here I am going to write the horizontal plane. Okay, and how this problem can be solved? Okay, now first in the beginning, what I'm doing, I wanted to show the apparent length of this line. The true length is there. This true length, how it appears, see, look here, very simple concept, that these are the true length of the object. Okay, and this I want to write the apparent length of the object. First, what I'm doing, I'm going to just make this particular top triangular eyesight just now I had given the example. I wanted to show this arc. That arc will be equal to AB, and I have drawn this arc until it is parallel to your eyesight. Then project it over this one and project it over this one. And now please understand, this is the front and top views of the object. These are the front and top view of the object, and these are not equal in true. It is not true. These are the apparent length. From the apparent length, I wanted to write the true length of the object. So for that, what I'm doing, to write the true length of the object, the top view will be taken by taking A as center in the top view. By taking AB as length of the arc, I'm going to draw the arc until it coinciding the locus of A. Then after that, project it over the B. And once after projecting over the P, and that particular point, that particular line, it will be intersecting with the locus of B, and this particular length will be equal to the true length of the object. And similarly, by taking the front view of the apparent length of the object, it is the front view is not true length. Please understand that front view and top views are the apparent lengths. By taking the front view of the object, what I'm doing, I'm going to draw this arc and project it over here on the locus of B, where you meet, that will be showing you the true length of the object. You can see that. How? Okay. You can understand, and vice versa, you can able to do this. And please understand, correct? No? And if you want to write the true length of the object, what we can do, already the locus of B is there, locus of A is there. By taking the same length, by taking this as center, you can draw the arc and you'll get this length. That will be the true length of the object. But please understand, you can please take a notebook. I'll be giving you some points which you have to remember, so that you can able to apply these rules for all the problems. Please take a notebook, a piece of paper. I hope you took the piece of paper. Now, the same concept will be applied to draw the true length of the object in the top view. To draw the true length of the object in the top view, take the apparent length of the object in the front view. So here, what I'm doing, by taking this A as center, AB as length of the arc, I'm going to draw this arc and project it over the locus of B. And where the locus of B and this line are intersecting, that line will be indicating the true length of the object. Now please write first point. Please write the first point. The true length of the object in the front view and top view are same, equal. The true lengths TL, you can write TL in the top and front views will be equal. The second one, please look at this problem. This line and this line, they are parallel to each other, and this is one of the important thing, the distance between the end projectors, these are called, and these are the end projector in the sense A to A have projected and B to B have projected from one plane to the other plane. This distance is called as the distance between the end projectors. It is applied only for the apparent lengths of the object, not for the true length. The distance between the end projector will be same. Please write, the distance between the end projectors will be same for the apparent length. That means the distance between the end projectors principle cannot be applied for the true length of the object in the front and top views. It is not possible. Okay, this is what. Okay, now let me go to the next one. Well, this is one condition. This is one condition. One condition is we have been given the top and front views of the object have been given. I wanted to write the position and the length of the true length. That is possible by using this method. And sometimes the problems will be given, true length will be given in one view and the apparent length will be given in the other view. Okay, that time how to do the problem. Okay, so apparent length, the true length. Okay, sometimes you please understand the apparent length in the both the views will be given. The top view and the front view it will be given. You can do the problem. The true length of the line will be given in the front and top views. That also possible, or the combination, the true length here and apparent length here, or the true length here and apparent length here. Like that, the different combinations the problem may be given and we can able to do the problems. Okay. In this case, I have been given, it is sorry, it is not a top this one. Now it is the true length of the object. The true length of the object is given to you. You can see that the true length will be projected. If it is apparent length, draw the arc first. If it is apparent length may be front view or top view. These are the apparent lengths. I wanted to write the true length by using the apparent length. First, I am going to draw the arc. If the true length is given from the true length, I want to write the apparent length. First, you draw the straight line. Please understand the differences. If the apparent length is given, from that I want to write the true length. First, you are going to draw the arc. Then you are going to project it. For example, you did a mistake. The apparently you have taken, I have projected up to here and get definitely this length will be lesser. So definitely the true length will never be lesser than the apparent length. So that in the beginning you have to take the arc for the apparent length. Now the true length is given to you. Now project this line and project it over the locus of A, and from here what you are going to do, take this as a point and this as arc length, draw this arc. What I am going to do the next, this only, and what I get, the intersection of this arc with the locus of B, which will be giving you the apparent length of the object. It is the front view of the object. Next, as I told you, the very simple case in the beginning, one may even by using the true length of the object in the front view, by using that you can do the apparent length of the object in the top view. You can do what you can do. The similar procedure, you are going to project this until the locus of A you cut, and from here by taking this A as center, this as arc length, you are going to draw this arc and we get this apparent length of the object in the top view. Or else a simple way, I told you the distance between the end projector is same for the apparent length. So definitely this line and you draw other line, that also possible. You draw the line, definitely that will be equal to this. Okay, and this is the apparent length of the object in the top view. The same problem I'll take, one small problem I'll take and try to show you. Okay. Now I'll take one problem. The previous class I was showing you a problem. This I'll erase, and once again I'll do this. I kindly request you to go through this. A line AB 80 mm long. The capital A, capital B is given. It is the true length of the object. The true length is given to you. You can able to position the true length in the front and top views. A line second letter A and second letter B. For example, instead of giving this problem like this, I have been given you AB. A line AB 80 mm long. That means to say it is the top view of the object. It is the apparent length of the object in the top view. And if it is given to you as A dash and B dash, that means to say it is the apparent length of the object in the front view. It is not that now. Directly they have given us capital A, capital B. That means to say it is indicating it is the true length of the line, actual line. So the line AB 80 mm long has its NDA 20 mm above HP. Now directly let me start with a problem so that at the same time we can able to understand it. Now let me select a line and locate a point and take some approximately whatever the length you required. 200 tab 0 I have taken. So this is the line. Now this line will be normal line. I am going to take normal line. Now all the lines you take normal, then we'll try to see whichever is the thick line and whichever is the thin line. Now my point is that a point A is 20 mm above HP. 20 mm above HP. That means now you take 20 tab 0. That means line you take one point 20 tab 90 degree I have taken. Okay, this indicates the position of point A here, and this is at a distance of 20 mm from the horizontal plane. Now this particular one you take 3 text, and this is a vertical plane and this will be the horizontal plane. Okay, this is the horizontal plane. Now you can position them and you can name it as X, one end of the line. Okay, let me come to fit. I come here and you suitably select the space. Okay, I'm not going to select now. A line AB 80 mm long, 80 mm long has its NDA 20 mm from above HP, and 30 mm in front of VP, 30 mm in front of VP, 30 mm, 30 tab minus 90 degree. It is 30 mm. If I measure this, you can see this. It is 20 mm. If I measure this, this will be 30 mm. And if you did any mistake, you can even verify it in the beginning only. After completing the problem, if you click and do the editing, the entire structure will be disturbed. In the beginning only, the initial conditions you please look into. Okay. Now this is, now let me take one line. Okay, let me take a line, copy this line from this end point to here and here, and this will be called as locus of A, and this is also locus of A, and you can copy it by clicking one reference point on the line. Okay, this is locus of A. Locus of A. It is inclined. What is inclined? The line AB is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to HP. Already I told you, if it is making an angle of 30 degree to HP, its inclination can be obtained in the front view. Don't get confused. Now let me take this end point. From this end point, the line has to be 80 mm length and it has to be inclined at an angle of 30 degree. How? That line 80 mm long, 80 tab 30 degree. Okay, this is, and if you want, you can click onto this. See this, it is 80 mm length. This is 80 mm length and it is making an angle of 30 degree. For example, it was supposed to be 45. You can make it 45. Okay, you understood my point. Okay, and now it should be 80 mm length and it should be inclined at an angle of 30 degree. Okay, 30 degree and 80 mm length. 80 mm length and 30 degree. Okay. Now, as soon as you get this, I'm going to locate one end point at the end of this. Okay, and this is called the locus of B. This is called the locus of B. Locus of B. Please do not write the capital letter Actually, if you want, you can write locus of A dash and locus of B dash. That means to indicate it is a front view, and locus of A and locus of B indicating the top view. Now let it be, no problem. Now it is inclined at an angle of 30° THP. That means I have shown already, and this angle also can be shown here, that the angle between. I can show the angle 30° inclination. Okay, this I can show, but don't do it in the beginning only. Don't do it in the beginning, otherwise it will be disturbing the problem. And it is inclined at 30° to the horizontal plane. I shown its inclination with the vertical plane, and 45° to the vertical plane. Its inclination can be obtained in the top view. So 80 and 45°. Line, take this end 80 mm length, and it is minus 45°. Minus 45°. Now you can just see this 80 mm length and minus 45°. Once you get this, you take any line and copy this. You can see, always I am telling you some shortcut methods. Here you can copy, but while you are going to do the drafting, you have to draw the line. While you are doing it in the computer, many times creating the line, it will be taking a lot of time. Each problem will be taking more than 20 minutes. So in 5 minutes or 3 minutes, you can able to do these problems once you understood. Now, let me take one vertical line. For example, here I am going to take, and another one I am going to take here, and project it. Why I am projecting, I'll show you. And now you trim these ends. Once after this, you delete them. Why I did that? I don't want to take the extra length of the lines. So all these together, hold control. All these together, you move them, take a suitable point on this and move to any required position. Okay, and here also I did a small this one. Okay, no problem. I'll cut down this. I am supposed to remove this also. Now aesthetically the problem also looks nice, and you can able to differentiate the XY line. I can able to show the locus of A, locus of B and all this, and already I have written locus of P here, and you can copy this, copy by taking this as end point and locate it here. So how much time you are saving? You see this. This is what the problem is given. A line AB 80 mm long has its end A 20 mm above HP, 30 mm in front of VP. Now let me take, this is end A. This is end A, and this is end A in the top view. Okay, so the line, the point A is 20 mm above HP, 30 mm in front of VP. And sometimes instead of giving you the angle, the end B is so and so distance from the horizontal plane in the front view, and end B is so and so distance in the top view. That also may be given. Instead of giving you the angle, they may give you the position of the other end with respect to the locus of A or with respect to the horizontal plane, the XY line, whatever may be the case. Now these are the true length of the object. These are the true length. You can see this is a TL, true length of the object. Okay, true length of the object. It is true length. So at the same time, two ways it will be benefiting you. You will be understanding the problem as well as how to do it in the software also you'll come to know. This is what the initial conditions are given. The true length of the line in the front and top views, it is given to you, and one can able to clearly observe this. The distance between the end projector is this, and as I told you, one condition, the distance between the end project will be same for the apparent length, not for the true length. If I draw this line, you can see this. You can see these are not having the same distance. Whether they are coinciding? No. So definitely the distance between the end projector is not same for the true lengths. Only for the apparent lengths it will be same. Now with this, I wanted to solve the problem. Any problems are there in initial conditions? Kindly let me know. I wanted to do the problem now. So the problem is that the true length and apparent length in the front view and its position, the true length and apparent length in the top view and its position. These we have to do. That's all. For all the problems we have to do them. Okay. Now I have been given the true length and true length conditions. Sometimes I told you the apparent length here and apparent length here, and true lengths can be obtained. And the true length here and apparent length here, I can able to get the true length here and apparent length here later, and the true length here and true length here. Okay, these are all the different conditions. If you want, I'll be giving you one small note sheet here, and you can make use of it. You can make use of it. Okay, I'll show that. I'll be giving you the note sheet here, just to remember. Because this note sheet will be very much useful to you while you are going to do other problems. You are going to apply the same principles and try to do the other problems. The one condition is that first condition, let me take one line. And you may be given true length here and true length here, and you can do the problem. Okay, one condition will be given true length here and true length here. Only the thing is the true length and its inclination is known to you. The true length and its inclination is known to you, and you can able to find out the apparent length in the front view and apparent length in the top view and its inclination you can able to do. One condition. The second condition is that sometimes you will be given given the true length in the front view and apparent length in the top view. One condition, other condition, some problems, the true length in the top front will be given and apparent length in the top will be given. I can able to find out the true length in the top view and apparent length in the front view and its position I can able to do. And other problem may be, the condition of the problem may be apparent length in the front view and true length in the top will be given to you. I can able to find out the true length and its position in the front view, and I can able to find out the apparent length and its position in the top view. These are the three possible ways, and among them this is one I have been given. The true length and true length. This is the problem I am going to do. This is the problem I am going to do. Now I hope you understood. Shall I go to the next solve the problem? Shall I start solving the problem? Please tell me, shall I start to do the problem?
Sir, can you explain once again, sir?
Yeah, that is what. Please do not hesitate. Please ask me the initial condition of the problem. I'm going to discuss. This you want me to discuss?
Yes, sir.
No, this is
That-
not. No, here what they are given in this problem, a line AB 80 mm long, that is the true length, has its end at 20 mm above HP, 30 mm in front of VP. Okay, and it is inclined at angle of 30 degree to the horizontal plane and 45 degree to the vertical plane. That means they have given us the true length and its position in the front view, the true length and its position in the top view they are given. Draw its projections.
How can we
That
know
means-
it is true length or the apparent length, sir?
Pardon?
How can we know that is the given data is true length or apparent length, sir?
No. The condition I told, these are the condition I told. While we are going to solve the problem in the next, we'll come to know that what is the apparent length linear or not. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I'll tell you here. I'll tell you. Here only I'll tell you. A line AB 8 mm long has its end at 20 mm above HP and is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal plane. Okay, the top view of the object measures 50 mm. It is inclined at an angle of 40 degree. For example, the problem is the top view of the object is measuring 40 mm inclined at angle of 45 degree. That means it is the apparent length of the object. Correct? No? They'll be giving us in the problem. Okay. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The top view of the object measures 50 mm, for example. That means the 50 mm is the apparent length. The front view of the object measures 60 mm. That means the apparent length of the line in the front view will be this one, 60 mm, like that. Okay. And other two more conditions I wanted to tell you. These are all the possible ways. They'll be asking you the problem. In the problem it will be given. Clearly it will be given in the problem. Okay. Sometimes they'll be giving us the true length and apparent length. The true length and apparent length, here the line shows it is the vertical plane, this is the horizontal plane, the XY line I have shown. And sometimes they'll be giving us these two conditions, and sometimes the true length and apparent length also may be given. Okay, so while we are going to solve the problem next, future you'll come to know all this. Okay, these are the different 5 conditions. Now our condition will be this. We are coming to this condition. Our condition is this. Now shall I start to do the problem? Solving the problem? Okay, I'm solving the problem. Now the problem is very, very simple. You'll ask me why I have to do this problem. I can do it, you can say. Now the true length is given. I want to draw the apparent length in the other view. You can draw the apparent length in the front view, or you can draw the apparent length in the top view also. Whichever you want, you can do it in the beginning. Not you are going to do find the apparent length, not by taking the apparent length, by taking the true length. If you are going to draw the true length, you are not going to take the true length, you are going to take the apparent length. Only that logic you have to remember. Now I want to draw the apparent length of the object. In other way, I want to show the front view of the object. So to draw the front view of the object, I am going to take the reference of the true length. What I am going to do, if it is a true length, then project it until the locus of A, then draw the arc. Okay, I am going to do that same thing. I am not going to draw this line. I am going to take one line here. So it will not be consuming more time for me. So that, okay, I am going to extend it until the locus of A. I am going to extend it. Now let me draw an arc of this length by taking this A as center. Already I have taken this up to here. Then after this, once it is intersecting the locus of A, then you are going to draw this arc. Okay, arc by center point. Select this, take this as center. Please remember always there must be a geometrical relation. Otherwise your problem will become wrong. I have taken the end point here and end of this here, end of this. Then sometimes it will show like this, and you see, look here. I have drawn the arc. I have drawn this arc. Now come to this particular portion, this intersection. The intersection of this line with this intersection and the end of this. I'm going to join. And this is the apparent length of the object. Apparent length of the object that will be shown by the visible line. It should be dark line. Okay. And apparent length you can write here only. I'll write apparent length of the line, or in other way we can write it as a true length of the object. Okay, if you want you can write the true length, apparent length or the front view of the object. Okay, apparent length, or even you can say it is top view, the front view of the object, whichever you want you can say. Okay, and suppose if you want to keep at an angle, I don't prefer you to keep at an angle. Okay, it is not required, and you can rotate whatever the way you want. Even letters also can be rotated, and you can keep wherever you want. Okay, you can keep wherever you want. It is left to you. Now I shown all the possible ways. Now there are two ways here to draw the apparent length, that is the top view of the line. Already I told you the distance between the end projector is same for the lines. The distance between the end projector is same for the apparent lengths, and one can use this method. And let me use both the methods and show you. Okay, take a line at the end of this. Now project it over this, and this will become the apparent length of the object. Once you know the apparent length, then the two lines which will be bounding this particular line between, and this distance will be called as the distance between the end projectors. It will be same in all the problems, but the distance between the end projector for the true length will not be same. Already I shown that. And one can do this, or if you want you can use the regular method. By taking the true length you can write the apparent length. How it can be done? Select a line, select the end point, locate here. Next, extend this line, extend the line. See, extending this line. Up to where I have extended, I did one small mistake here. I should not extend up to there. I have to extend up to the locus of A. Then it has to be trimmed. Then next, take the arc of length this much by taking this A as center. Now let me give more focus onto this portion. Okay. And if I am correct, the distance between the end projector is same, then this will be okay. Otherwise, this will become wrong. You can see that I am going to draw the arc by taking this as center and this as radius. Draw this arc. So definitely you can see that it is meeting at this point. Definitely that procedure hold good. Correct? No? Whichever the way you want, you can use the methods. Okay, while doing so many problems, you will come to know slowly how the problem can be solved. And now take a line by end of this one to end of this one. Always take end to end and convert this line into a visible line. Now Now this is the problem solved. This is the problem which I have solved. And now next, I don't want to confuse you by dimensioning. Dimensioning I'll be showing you later. Slowly, one by one, we'll try to understand them. Okay. Now see how aesthetically it looks, and even someone can even reduce this line. Reduce this line. If you don't want to keep much distance, and you can reduce the length of the lines also. Aesthetically, it looks nice. And hold control. Hold control. Select all these. You say move. I don't want to copy. Take one point on this and move wherever you want. Okay. And you can see that the problem looks very compact. And I don't want, even if you want, you can extend the line up to here. There is no meaning. I wanted to show by utilizing optimal space, I have to present the problem. And even here also, the XY line, if you want, you can take this much only.